rope swing is particularly good to feel that because it's flexible here, and then the goal is to move the end of the rope. I don't attach anything here. It's just a regular nylon rope here. But again, the goal is to move the end of the rope fast around. You hear the sound, and also if the end is hitting my body, it's because the rope has enough speed. If you learn how to move the rope fast around, okay, by using the body, then you can feel the motion of the end point of any device. Swing back and forth. It's too rigorous. So you're using your arms a lot. All you do is throw the end of the rope, throw the end of the rope, throw the end of the rope. So get rid of all the unnecessary body motion. Your goal is to just move the end of the rope fast around. Again, let's go back to that line and then aim the T, although you cannot hit it, but that's the swing plane. Okay. Your body is getting taller. Yeah, so maintain the spine axis. Again, at the end, if the rope is too fast at the end, there's an abrupt stop. So again, this is one continuous motion. You have to control the motion of the rope nicely. So accelerate, decelerate, accelerate, decelerate, accelerate, decelerate. All you do is let it go, let it go, let it go, but it doesn't hit the body too much.
I'm not decelerating if it's hitting too hard.
So the whole thing is a one-piece motion. You have to control the entire motion instead of just the throw and then you don't care, right? So feel the motion of the end of the rope. And then the body motion should be as simple as possible. It's a simple rotation about the spine axis. It's a simple motion about the spine axis. And then feel the rhythm, feel the rhythm. Throw, 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 instead of ride the rhythm. Then you will have a lot more comfortable and stable motion. Keep the arms extended enough. Here. Relax the arms, relax the arms. Just to throw the end of the rope. That's better. Yep. Yep. Exactly. So when your arms are too rigid, what happens is you try to just move this with arms, but you're moving the end of the rope. So throw around, throw around, throw around.
So back to keeping my arms less like this.
Generally save energy. That means no need to contract the muscles too much. So try to keep the body as relaxed as possible, but develop the motion pattern with which you can throw the end of the rope fast around. The body is too much upright, lean forward, maintain. So still from swing to swing, your body is moving too much.
This way?
So the body just turns about the spine axis, and then you can make the motion as simple as possible here. Get rid of all the unnecessary movement. Let it go, let it go, let it go, let it go, let it go.
So I'm going this way too much?
You have this motion. I can see that still your arms are pretty, rigid. So on the way down, instead of try to drag it with the arms, you have to wait until the end of the rope comes here.
And start accelerating it here.
Yeah. So imagine you have a drum or something here. you're hitting the drum with the rope, then the end of the rope hits the drum, not your hand. So that means you have to move the end of the rope around and then dung, dung, instead of. Okay. The goal is to control the motion of the end of the rope.
So does that mean applying, once it starts coming this way, applying more acceleration?
So you have to accelerate the rope and then develop enough speed, and then using that and then hit the ball. So, and then let the end of the rope go ahead of your hand on this side here. Yes. Oh, that's a lot more now, more consistent. Yes. Yes, yes. So the key is moving the end of the rope.
Yeah.
That motion looks a lot
It
better.
felt like it was accelerating into here as
Yeah.
opposed to back here.
Yeah. And then instead of using your arms here, try to drive the rope, rather you are moving the end of the rope to hit. That actually gives you good timing.
Yeah, it felt different, completely different.
Yeah. So feel the motion of the end of the rope, throw, and then with that have a little bit of rhythmic motion, swing, feel the motion of the end of the rope. The body is a bit too upright. Yep, look at this. Now your motion becomes simpler, and then the rope motion becomes more consistent. Currently, the body is a bit too much upright. Swing, feel the motion of the end of the rope. The body is a bit too upright. Yep. So you can make the motion a lot more consistent, and particularly it should be endpoint oriented approach here. So you're moving the endpoint around your body. It's not about your body motion or the arm motion here. You have to promote the motion of the endpoint. The same thing goes to the stick again. Relax your wrist a little bit, and then your goal is to promote the white ball motion around. Yes. Now you started feeling the motion of the endpoint. That's big difference.
Big difference. Yeah.
So most of the cases when the swing motion becomes unstable, then you try to dictate the motion by using the arms quite a bit, instead of feeling the motion of the endpoint. Let's use another rope here. Again, the goal is to move the end of the rope, end of the stick. So when you do the backswing, again, the same idea. You're moving the end point around, right? And then your body can actually be more comfortable, so more relaxed. Your goal is to move this end point around. But if
Yeah, that's what it felt like I was doing.
yeah, there's still you're using unnecessary forces here. The leg actions should promote the upper body turn, kick, and the kick instead of this here.
Okay.
Yeah. So as you repeat this more and more, your body will start developing more comfortable motion pattern.
With that, I'll just get more comfortable with more spine angle. The more I do it.
And then just a turn around the axis. Throw the end point. Yeah. So once you start feeling the motion of the end point, then your swing becomes a completely different animal. Oftentimes you use your body, but you're not really promoting the motion of the,
So
the
is
club
that
head.
this feeling here that I'm getting, it feels like I'm, is that when you know, is that as opposed to driving it like this, I'm getting it more this.
So we have a bad example on TV a lot. that means you're killing the wrist range of motion here. Instead, let it go. Because the goal is to move the end of the club head, not about your body motion like this. Okay, so yeah, once you start focusing on the end point, then you can use the wrist and the forearm better. Now, this one is light, so it's a bit easy. And then initially when you try to shape up your swing, because you have to make many swings, so I recommend a lighter one. Okay. But now, once your swing plane is reasonably in place, then let's use something heavier. Okay. So a good example will be this orange whip here. So the feel will be completely different because now it's heavier. Okay. And then one thing I like about the orange whip is it's well balanced here. Okay. Generally, my recommendation is it's heavier than the club. Then try to keep the center of mass or toward the center instead of the end. Okay. If it's too much toward the end, then it dictates your swing motion. Okay. You have to drag it a lot.
About the medium.
Yeah, mid-size here. Yeah. So this one again, this is heavier, so it's a bit more difficult to swing. But in order to swing this easily, you have to use the pronation supination well here. Okay? Instead of using this motion or keep coming this way. And then try to use this motion. Rather, try to use this motion here. Then you'll be able to swing this better. And also at the top, try to minimize the bending. So when you have a nice slow down here, that means you have to have enough time for the transition. Slow down, and then you have minimum bending, just coming from the slow down. Yeah. But when you have a lot of bending, that means that before it's completed, you're already going down.
Oh, because you're changing the direction.
Yeah. So try to have the image of minimizing the bending at the top. Swing. Yep. Again, here the goal is to move the the orange ball around. Keep the upper body inclined a bit more. In the end, if you want to make this motion more comfortable, then you have to use the body. Using the body and then throw this around, throw, instead of using the arms, instead of this here. So throw. In order to throw, you are kicking and then bringing the hip up, kick and throw.
So less worried about fast and more worried about proper motion.
So just to focus on the end point. When you focus on the end point motion, you will be able to get rid of a lot of unnecessary movements. And your swing motion becomes simpler. And then this is one continuous motion. So if this is a lightsaber, you're a Jedi, then instead of having wang motion, wang. So the end of the backswing and downswing is all connected.
So you have too much of a gap there? You have a lag there?
No, it's just so you have a burst of action here, and then relax, and then burst of action. Instead, this is connected motion. Then you can really have the counter movement effect. So imagine fishing with a rod, right? And then, so when you bring this back and then throw, the whole goal is to control the motion of the hook. You're not just throwing this way and then throwing that way. Rather, and then here. So with this, you can control the motion of the hook. The same thing. Ooh, and then let it go. Instead of losing the control here. Yes. That timing is good. Yeah. So really using the counter movement here, and then you're hitting this here. So when you try to hit something hard, then you bring this back, and then boom. You don't do this. Rather, boom, right? When you try to hit something hard, boom, the same thing. So it's not, just throw and then lose the control here, and then start all over again. Rather, it's a continuous motion. Have enough time, wind up, and then let it go. So wang. So there you can say Vijay Singh. And then when you give the accent to sing, try to kick the ground. Sing. The sing is the kicking the ground. It's not the arm motion, but try to kick the ground. Kick the ground with the left leg. Here, Vijay Singh. Vijay Singh. Use the legs. Yeah. That one was a good leg action here.
So you have to load this.
So in the backswing, Vijay, you have an accent in Vijay. That's a loading onto the right side. Kick this. So the leg action is the accent. Vijay Sing. So instead of using the arms, okay, at the accent point, instead of using the arms, try to use the legs. The accent comes from the leg actions. Vijay Sing, Vijay Sing, Vijay Sing. Or kapow, kabam, kapow, kabam. So kapow, kabam is more emphasizing the shift turn rhythm, is or the so-called shun rhythm. So k is for the shift, and then pow is the turn, and then kabam, k is the shift, and the bam is the turn. So when you use the kapow, kabam, then you will have better leg actions. Actually, kapow, kabam is better for you than the VJ sing. Yeah. So always try to say that internally. That will dictate your rhythm. It's really important to develop good rhythm. I bet you're not a good dancer. You're not using your legs. To move around, you have to use the legs really well. No matter what you do, when you take a step, this is coming from the legs, right?
Yeah, I leave my upper body.
You can have a little bit up and down motion, a little bit of dancing. Kapow, kabam, kapow, kabam, kapow, kabam. Connect to the backswing and then let it go. Wind up and then let it go. Wind up and unleash. Wind up and unleash. So that's the timing. And then, so obviously when you use the heavier objects, you get tired quickly. Mm-hmm. So when you just shape up the motion, use a lighter one. Okay. And then once the swing plane is reasonably established, then you can use a heavier one to put more burden on the body so that your body can respond more effectively and efficiently. Okay. So generally when we use a heavier object, the body motion better organizes. Because
more muscles and more
so the burden on the body shouldn't be proportional to the weight of the device. by changing your motion pattern, you can actually reduce the rate that the burden increases
Oh, okay.
with the increased weight.
Great.
Yeah. So, if you use twice as heavy as this one, that doesn't mean the burden on the body is twice as much, because your body motion certainly changes. The acceleration, deceleration pattern certainly changes, and try to reduce the burden on the body as much as possible.
Okay.
So, it's really important to use a heavier object from time to time to be able to handle heavy object without putting much burden on the body. So these have all different purposes. Okay. So again, let's go to the lighter one. This time, let's do the stage 3 of the two-step swing. So use the trigger motion. Trigger and the active backswing, and then let it go. And then here, say, ka-now, ka-pow, ka-bam. So even that, when you repeat the cycles, it should connect well. So it's overall just a rhythmic, flow here. So ka-now, ka-pow, ka-bam. Ka-now, ka-pow, ka-bam. Ka-now, ka-pow, ka-bam. So the whole thing should be smooth and rhythmic, and they should be They should connect well. Okay. So within a cycle, you obviously have to have good rhythm, but cycle to cycle, again, the connection should be based on the same rhythm. So the bottom line is the timing. In terms of generating good speed, it's all about timing. If your body does something and then later the arms move, if these are all working on their own, you cannot really generate good speed. But everything is focused on throwing the end point here. The whole body is working together and then generate this throwing motion, then you have good timing, right? So the key is throwing the white ball. Give enough backswing in the large backswing so that you can connect the backswing to the downswing. So that's one thing you have to practice a lot.
Doing this over and over, just continuous swing.
So when you continue this, then your body will automatically become simpler and smoother, more rhythmic, and also you will feel more comfortable with this.
And so how do I train it to keep it better spine? Do I put a target out there?
For that, you can have a visual target.
Swing plane focused on that.
But still, your goal is to move this freely around. And then when the ball is there, or when there's a visual target, instead of trying to hit it intentionally, just swing the same way, but see if it passes through that point. One thing you can do is intentionally try to keep the distance a bit more. So go all the way, and then lean as much as possible. Try to touch that. See how it goes. That's better here. So there is a certain critical distance.
Yeah.
If the distance is shorter than that, then you tend to keep coming back to more upright position. But if that distance crosses that critical distance, then you maintain this.
Yeah, it forces you And so this feels too,
For you, it's leaning a lot,
yeah,
right?
it's okay.
Yeah. If you can maintain that position, and then it gives a good result. So when you have to lean that much, then you know that if you extend your body, then you miss that. So already, you try to intentionally maintain that position. But if it's shorter than the critical distance, then automatically you come back. And the reason why you turn left quite a bit after the impact is because it's too close. And then your swing plane becomes steeper.
Because I'm standing more upright.
Yeah.
It's close.
And then the hands stay close to the body, then naturally it turns this way more. But if you maintain this distance, lean a bit more here,
Yeah.
then you have to throw, so you cannot pull this in. If you try to pull this in, then you definitely miss the target.
Yeah.
So maintain the path. So that's what you have to experiment. The distance you have to experiment.
To find what feels natural.
And also the outcome of the shot.
Okay.
And when it is shorter than that critical distance, then you keep coming this way here.
Okay.
But if you go a bit more, across that critical distance, then you know that if you stand up, then you miss.
Yeah.
So try to maintain that and throw. So more you are letting it go instead of using the arms and try to pull this in here.
So this then promotes more of an inside out.
Just to try to have a more square path instead of too much into out. Yeah, that posture is better for me.
It feels more natural. It'll take a while to get used to this, but
Yeah, I also tend to keep it upright. So when the body is too much upright, then your swing plane is here, but your body is more upright here. Then you tend to turn your body this way.
get your club on this one.
This motion is not really along the swing plane. So you have to lean a bit more and then so align the spine axis more perpendicular to the swing plane here.
Okay.
Then when you turn, then everything is moving along the swing plane. But if it goes like this, then your body tends to turn flat, then it introduces this motion here,
Okay.
right?
Yep.
And then, so that's why you have to move the arms up and down quite a bit to compensate that. But if you lean a bit more, to you it may feel too much lean forward, but actually if it's reasonable, then it's just a simple turn about the spine axis.
Which then fits to that angle.
Yeah. So that's something you have to experiment. So try to go with a bit of, a bit more distance than you feel comfortable. And then as you get used to it, then with that way you can get rid of a lot of unnecessary movement.
It feels more, less arm, more body.
Yeah, you cannot lift this high up here. With this position, you cannot lift.
Yeah, it feels like
But with this, it's easy to lift here.
it just feels like it promotes
Yeah.
this instead of,
Mm.
because I know if I'm here, if I do this,
So when you use the arms a lot, then the swing plane tends to become steeper. You have to try to pull it down here. Okay. So even if you start the flat here, you are lifting this up here. So you go high, and then bring this down, and then turn this way. So the swing plane becomes steep. So the best is to promote reasonable plane motion here, so that you don't go back. So when you practice, always try to keep the ball or the tee a bit farther away, and then keep practicing. Once you get used to it, then it's nothing. But
This already feels more natural.
yeah. I had actually one case when I went to Florida for on-site reprogramming. And then one golfer, he tended to hit the ground. And then his swing plane was steep. So all I asked him was to keep the ball farther away. Then suddenly he started bombing the ball.
Just put the body into it.
And because he's not hitting the ground that much. So when you hit the ground, when you're a fast shot, then you lose the speed. Yep. So keep swinging that way. Try to touch the tip of the tee. See if you can do that. Swing, swing, swing. Swing, swing, swing.
Gosh, I feel like I'm having a steeper spine angle, but it's still not that steep, is it?
Because in the downswing you tend to extend,
Extend it.
right?
Okay.